Welcome everyone to the Better Love Movement podcast, where you will finally learn how to intentionally do dating and relationships right. My name is Anita Stoudemire, and I'm a licensed professional therapist and your personal love mentor. I've worked with thousands of singles and couples, giving them the skills needed to attract and keep the amazing love they desire. It's my heart's work to help people to get the skills needed to not only become the very best versions of themselves, but to help them grow and evolve emotionally and relationally. You can absolutely have the romantic relationship of your dreams. Come and let me show you how. Hey everybody, it's Anita with Better Love Movement, and I am back again with this week's podcast episode. I took last week off. I went and took a much needed vacation. I took 5 days off and headed down to Atlanta, and the city basically exploded the day we got there because of the recent shooting of another unarmed black man. And, you know, it was a contentious few days. But I think things are a little bit better now. I know people are continuing to protest there, but I got some much needed rest and relaxation with the family. So while the situation there wasn't ideal because of everything that's going on, we did get a chance to just kind of get away from our house and be somewhere different. I got a chance to see a lot of great friends while I was down there. It was amazing. And see my old alma mater. It was great. It was really awesome. So took off last week. I'm back this week with episode number 83. And what is the disclaimer that I want to put on this podcast episode? Maybe this episode may trigger you, may trigger some ladies out there. Maybe you might be upset. I want you to comment. I want you to let me know what you're thinking about this episode in particular. But here's the thing. I have to keep it real. I have to be honest with you all. And I've been talking with a lot of friends about this topic, a lot of male friends about this topic. And I said, sure, I'm going to make a podcast episode about it. Just really expressing to the ladies that I coach and that follow me, you know, what my take on this whole idea is, and to encourage them, to continue to encourage them as I always do, but to also bring them some truth, some real hard truth. And let's get on to this week's episode. It is episode number 83, and it is entitled, Are You Good Enough for the Man You Want? So the conversation that I had recently was with a group of male friends, and they basically suggested that women have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating and relationships and men. And we got into that whole dialogue about that. One man in particular talked about all these things that this particular lady that he went out on a date with, what she wanted in a potential partner. And he noticed that many of the things that she had on her standards and requirements list, she didn't even have herself. And I asked him, you know, to go into detail about this. I said, was this just things like, you know, made 7 figures, or, you know, was it tangible items? Was it characteristics like your character or personality? Like what? Give me some idea of what you're talking about. And so he said, well, you know, she wanted a man who was over 6'3". She wanted a man who was, you know, healthy, who was fitness conscious. And she was 5'2". She was about 60 pounds overweight. You know, she had these things going on with her where, you know, why would you ask for some of these things when you haven't made strides in your fitness journey? You haven't, you're clearly not, you know, may not be eating the healthiest. And so, you know, he was just really put off by that. She also asked that he have a specific job. She wanted a man who had a job in like finance or something like that. She wanted him to, definitely own a home, but she was specific in the part of town that she wanted him to own the home in. She was very specific. And so, he was really put off by this. He was thinking to himself, okay, well, she doesn't have any of this, and yet she's requiring this of me. How that's not really fair. So I agreed. I agreed with him that I am a huge believer in, if you are asking for specific characteristics, specific tangible items like a house or a car or a specific degree, that yes, I do believe you should be ready to be at that level yourself. I actually believe that's how you're going to attract that type of man. You're going to attract a man who is fit and healthy by going to the gym, by making sure you're in Whole Foods and you're eating good food. You're going to restaurants that serve healthy food. It's unlikely that you're going to meet a man who's super healthy conscious hanging out at McDonald's 5 days a week. That probably isn't going to happen. So you're going to avoid places like that. You're going to cook, or go to healthy restaurants. You're going to be in Whole Foods, or you're going to be in the gym. You're going to take various classes, but you're going to take good care of yourself. Your body is going to show that you're taking really good care of yourself, and you will more than likely attract someone like that. And ladies, I already hear you. I already hear what you're saying, that for those of us who are very health conscious and, we take good care of ourselves, we look great, we attract men who don't take care of themselves, right? We attract men who maybe they're out of shape, they're overweight. I get it. A beautiful woman is a beautiful woman. So she's going to attract any and every type of man. But again, what I like about, flipping this to the other foot here is you can simply say, yeah, I'm really interested in someone who's healthy and fit and works out. And I've said that to many a man who was completely out of shape. I'm not interested in someone who is not on a health and fitness journey like I am. That wouldn't be a good fit for me. And that was the truth. And so they had to take it or leave it. Well, they had to take it and then leave, because that's what I'm about. That's what I'm on. I gave another great example where I said, yeah, it's kind of like me and, the communication. I really need a man who's a great communicator, a man who has great emotional intelligence, because that's something I'm very passionate about. I'm always working on improving my communication skills and being more emotionally intelligent. And so to be with a man who shuts down, who doesn't talk very much, who's not in touch with how he feels. One of my biggest, I don't wants on my list is the passive aggressive man. That is such a turnoff to me. I'm not interested in a man who communicates with passive aggressive language or just passive aggressive. It's just such a turnoff. So yes, I work on that myself. I'm guilty of the passive aggressiveness. And so that's something I am definitely working on. I'm working on communicating my needs to a man in a healthy way, being assertive, and expressing how I feel. And as I tell you, ladies, you can always express how you feel. It's the drama that men don't want. It's expressing how you feel with all that drama. So the screaming, the yelling, the cursing, the throwing, the kicking, the hitting, the slapping, that is what most men don't want. Dare I say all men don't want that. Like, unless the man is unhealthy, unless that's his language of communicating too, he's not going to want that. He's not going to want someone who either shuts down, when he asks what's wrong with you, your response is nothing, everything is fine. No, I want you to get in the practice of saying, what is the problem? What's wrong with you? No one can read your mind. No one knows what's going on inside of you. That's what words are for. You got to start using your words. And honestly, ladies, this was me. 25 years ago, the person I'm describing was me. I was the drama queen. That chaos was my middle name. That was my mode of communicating, was through all of the chaos and the screaming and the yelling and the, slicing of tires and bashing out people's windows and all of that. I know it seems hard to believe, but that was many, many years ago. I was a whole nother person then. And I made a commitment to learn how to express myself in a healthy way. I had to heal. I had to grow. I had to go to therapy off and on. And I am a therapist. Therapists have therapists. So you've got to do that work. And so whatever your area is. So for some women, their area is financial. They are all about that hypergamous life. They want a man who's making seven figures and who's generous and who has this and has that. And they're still living in the projects. They're living with a family member. Their credit is jacked up. They don't have any money saved. They are working a job, not in a career. No, I agree. I don't believe that you should expect something from someone else that you can't even provide. And I remember actually explaining this concept to my children when they would spend money on things like with my money. Like when they had my money, they would buy a certain level of things that they wouldn't even spend their own money on. And I told them, I said, look, unless you're willing to spend your own money on that brand or that type of thing, no, you don't get to spend my money high end and then your money low end. No, you need to be willing to, meet me there. You need to meet me there. So it's no different in a relationship. And if you want the best, I really believe this. If you want the best, if you want to be the prize, and everybody's saying that the woman is the prize, right? And the woman is, oh, he should pursue us, and the woman is the prize. Ladies, you've got to be a prize. You've got to be a prize to be won, and not the booby prize. You have to be an actual prize. You have to be that Proverbs 31 woman. And so much comes with you. Like you're working on all these different areas of your life. You're pulling all these areas of your life together. So emotional, spiritual, mental, physical, financial, all of these areas, social, all these areas are coming together. You're doing the work so that you can say you are the prize. And I have some ladies in my coaching program. I'm so proud of them. They have leaned in and they are doing the work. And for each of them, there's a different area that they've struggled in. And so I'm like, guess what? You've got to lean in on that area. You don't get to just say, well, financially, I have a good job and I have a great credit score and I pay my bills and I save money, but my health and fitness is horrible. Or emotionally, I'm toxic. No, I'm talking all the areas need some attention. All the areas need some love. Okay. And it's not as if all the areas are all jacked up, right? So while I believe emotionally, I'm in a great place. I am a healthy individual. I have a way of expressing myself that is healthy and feminine. I am mastering feminine communication. So I do not think that's a part of me that has a weakness. I think financially, I'm in a great place. And yet this year I made a promise to myself that I was going to get out of debt this year. So while my financial is not perfect, I am working. I mean, I'm in a pretty great place and I am working on paying off all of my debt, paying off everything but my house and my student loans. Everything else will be paid off. So that was something that I saw like, I could do better in that area. Like I could really do better in the financial area. Spiritually, I'm working on growing closer to God and really connecting with him more and more each day. I want to lean into reading my Bible more, praying more. Physically, I believe I'm in a good place, but want to get better. I want to get better. So I am working on fighting that menopausal middle, so I am really working on my diet and making sure that what I'm eating is healthy and it's appropriate for my age, for my hormone level, all of that. So I'm diving into that. Like there are pieces of almost every area that I spoke of that I can tweak, I can make better. And yet I believe I am a high value woman. I am a high value woman by most men's standards. So, and we'll talk in another episode about what makes a high value woman, because a lot of people say that, well, what makes you a high value woman? It is not just what I own. It is not just what I have, or it's not body or face, or it's deeper than that. So we'll save that for another episode. But honestly, you want to be the best version of you. And that makes you the prize, is that not only am I succeeding in some of these areas, I'm continuing to work in the other areas. Like, the work never is over. It's never over. And that's one of the things that I find so off-putting about men who are stuck. Men who are stuck in a place where they feel like, well, this is it. I'm this age. I feel like this is good enough. I'm not going to do anything else about my mental, my spiritual, my emotional, my financial, my social, and all the different areas. Like, oh, this is good enough. I'm just going to stay right here. I'm not going to grow anymore. I'm not going to learn anything new. Yeah, no, this never ends. You're constantly working on yourself. You're constantly trying to be your best self. That's what makes you the prize. And even then, here's the bad news. And I don't know if it's bad news. It's not horrible news. But even then, the truth of the matter is, you will settle. You will settle. You will not get everything you want. And you may not even get everything you need. But here's where I don't want you to settle. I don't want you to settle for things that you don't want. So I have talked about the self-discovery relationship tool. It is 3 pieces of paper. It's the most basic thing I ever created, but it's 3 pieces of paper. I'm going to link it in the show notes that you can click on it. You can print it out, download it and print it out, and you can start working on your own. But the self-discovery relationship tool, 3 pieces of paper. The first one says, I want. Tell me what you want. Have fun with this list. This list is, do not censor yourself. Have fun. Have a good time. When I created my I want list, oh man, this guy is amazing. Like, this is like the perfect man, right? And all the things that I want in a man and in a relationship. I had fun with it. The second piece of paper is, I don't want. Tell me what you do not want. This is the list. I do not want you to settle on this list. Because why? Why would you sit across from a man on a date and, let's say, smoking? That always comes to mind. I don't want a smoker. And yet he smokes. He excuses himself after eating to go and smoke. And he comes back and he smells of smoke. Or when he first gets there, you can smell smoke on him. And so you're done. This date is done. You're going to be polite and say, oh, thank you for the lovely time, but I just don't think we're a good fit for each other. You're done. Because I don't want you to settle for something on your I don't want list. And if you don't want a smoker, do not settle with a smoker. So that's the list that you will not settle on. And then the third list is I need. And this one, I want you to go a little deeper. I really need you to check in with how you feel for this one. What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel on fire? What types of things in a relationship make you feel wanted, needed, desired, makes you feel secure, makes you feel just complete, like amazing, right? So these are the things that are going to speak to your very soul. That's what the I need list is. And it may not be super long. My I want list is so long. It has got everything and anything on there because remember, I had fun with it, knowing full on I wasn't going to get most of it. I'm lucky if I get 15%, 10 or 15%, I'm lucky. The I need list, I'm reaching higher on this list. I'm asking myself, what do I need in a relationship and a partner to be my best self? Okay. And again, I'm working on this too, but it's also something I want to show up in my partner and in my relationship. But I'm already working on that. So if I need more transparency, I am transparent. If I need financial stability, I'm working on financial stability. I am meeting that person right there at the need. So I cannot ask for financial security and I am no way close to financial security and I'm not working on it. No, I need to be working on it. Remember, healthy relationships require practice. We must practice skills. We must practice kind of what we preach, right? So I need, if I were to put a percentage on that, I'd say, yeah, try to get, I don't know, 60% of it, 50 to 60% of it, 40, 50, I don't know. But that percentage is going to be a little higher because remember, when we're talking about our needs, our partner is not going to meet 100% of our needs. It's not meant to be that way. It's not going to be that way. And that's okay. The one need that only your partner should be meeting for you, that they must meet for you, is sexual. And this is in marriage. Your husband should be providing sex. That's the need, the one need that only he can provide and only you should be providing for him. But there's other needs you have that, guess what? Other people, your pets, your children, other people can meet it. So stay open to that, okay? But dating to disqualify, that's what the I don't want list is all about. You go in with that in mind. If I see anything I don't want, then I don't settle. Then I don't settle. Because why would I settle for something I say I don't want? No. And ladies, I just see this so often. I see so often where we make excuses for things we don't want. We make it seem like it's not as bad as it really is. I see this every day, all day. And this tool helps you to get clear, but it also holds you accountable. And a lot of us women, we need to be held accountable. Like we're doing some stuff to us or we're allowing some stuff. That's not blaming you. That's holding you accountable. That's a very different thing. And you've got to be held accountable to the foolishness that you see and you make excuses for and you allow. If it's on the don't want list, you don't want it. Now, this is a faith walk. You have to trust that something else, something better, something that's a better fit is coming. But I have to disqualify men all the time because of the don't want list. I don't want that. That's the part that I don't want you to settle on. But are you going to get everything you want? No, not even close. Are you going to get everything you need from your partner? You're going to find other ways to meet needs. You're going to get some of it. I hope you get a good amount of it. But there are going to be other ways that you're going to get your needs met. And it's unrealistic to expect that your partner be all things to you. That is not going to keep the relationship spicy or full of spark or full of passion. That's get a best friend, get a dog, and even then, you're still not going to get all your needs met. So yes, ladies, it's time to look in the mirror. It's time to really assess, I want, I don't want, and I need. Once you do this assignment, once you do this work, then you gotta turn that mirror on yourself. Am I this? Am I working on any of this? Is any of this describing me? And if that is not the case, if you're not even close, I'm talking about folks that are not even close. Okay. I'm talking you want a 9.5 and you're a strong 5. I'm keeping it 100 right now. You have work to do. You have work to do. And you know what? Everybody has their preferences. Everybody has their preferences, what they want, and that's their preference. But I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You're living in a fantasy if you think that you being a strong 5 and wanting a 9.5 is even possible or tangible or, okay? Really be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I have done this. I have done this many a time, and I have attempted to engage partners that I believe are on the same playing field as me. I don't go for the 10s. I don't do that anymore. And it's not about, I don't believe I'm worth a 10. It's simply what is realistic. So that's the same with, I could do that same thing with my age. I could do that same thing with my weight, my height. I could do that same thing with the fact that I wear glasses, and there are lots of men out there that don't want a woman who wears glasses. That's okay. That is okay. They have every right to their preference. And so, okay. I mean, I'm not hurt by that. I'm not upset by that. I'm not crushed by that. That's not their thing. But that would be like me at 52 trying to engage men who are 30 and trying to wear clothes that women who are 30 wear and talk like and act like, and no, I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. I have no interest in a 30-year-old man. I guess it's a man. I have no interest in that. I want someone to meet me, kind of where I'm at. And that way we recognize each other. See, this is what happens when you work on yourself and you come up in all those different areas. When you meet that person, it's like you all recognize each other. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is somebody that's almost like kind of mirroring me. This is like a mirroring thing. I recognize myself and where this person is. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. And there may be areas, let's say, that I may be stronger in, that he may be working in, and there may be areas that I'm working in and he may be stronger in. But for us to not even be on the same playing field, no, that's unrealistic. And I'm only telling you this because I care for you. I love you. I want you to find a good, healthy, masculine man. But I got to be honest with you too. I got to make it so that this thing is realistic. It is achievable. It is possible. I tell people all the time, there are exceptions to every rule, but I don't teach from that because I have dealt with too many people, too many couples, too many singles where, yeah, I kind of know, 9 times out of 10, how this thing is going to go. I don't worry about the 10. I know how this thing is going to go. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. That's why it is so important that I make this episode, that you be open to this, that you really, you put your ego aside on this one and you get real with yourself. Be open to hearing this message that, you know what, this list, these standards and requirements that I have, I may not be good enough for that. I may not be good enough to get that. And I might need to come up. I might need to, work on those feminine skills. And I want you all to, here's another great assignment for you. I want you to find 2 or 3 men that you find attractive, that you think are attractive, that you like the way they look, you like their life, and ask them what things they look for in a woman. Like if they were ready to settle down and get married, what qualities would they be looking for? What things would they be looking for? And really keep your ears open and your mouth closed. Like really listen. And then once you hear what they tell you, I need you to assess, am I that? Am I any of that? Do I possess anything that he just said? Any quality or anything? That's the wake-up call. That is the wake-up call. When I do this same experiment with men, especially men closer to my age, so they're like 48, 52, between 48 and 52, 53, I feel good knowing that a lot of what they say, I'm like, yep, I'm on track. I'm not far off at all. I'm right there. That feels good. And barring whether we have chemistry with each other or not. Because remember, chemistry is not something you can't make that up. You can't pretend. You can't fake it. Either it's there or it's not. And ladies, you take it so personally when a man doesn't have chemistry with you, when there's no attraction with you. So what? There's lots of men who are not attracted to me. There's tons of men who have no chemistry with me. So what? That's called their problem. That's okay. And so the number one quality that you are looking for in a healthy masculine man, a healthy partner, is that they want you. Is that they want you and consistently show you that they want you. They show up for you and they want you. It's not enough for you to want them. I can't tell you how many discussions I have gotten into with men about this idea of why don't women pursue men? Why don't they come up to men? Why don't they call men first and text men first? Why are you telling women not to do that? Because my hard and fast rule is it is not enough for her to want him. He must want her. Men will take advantage of that situation. Men get bored. They get lonely. They'll be with someone they don't want and just go, I don't have anything else to do. Why not? Oh, you want to go out? Sure. You want to come over? Uh-huh. And they don't want you. I don't want that for my ladies. That's the last thing I want for my beautiful feminine energy women, is to get caught up with a man who doesn't even want them. No, you wait for the man who wants you. And then you're going to assess, okay, let me see if he has any of my don't wants. Then I go to the needs list after that. Does he have some things that I need in a partner? Does he have those things? And then I'll start looking at what I want. But the number one quality, he must want me. He must desire me, and he must show up for me over and over and over. And then I can do my vetting and qualifying of him. That's it. That's it. And I don't think the man should take it personally if he gets disqualified. You are a perfectly good man. You're just not the best fit for me. That's it. We're all looking for the best fit. Those of us that are healthy. We want the best viable option for us, because honestly, that's going to help in our long-term success in a relationship. Having that best fit for us, not perfect fit. You are not perfectly compatible with anybody. Wake up to that right now. There is no man out there who can read your mind, who's going to, bring you everything you've ever desired, who's going to do everything you've ever wanted him to do. He does not exist. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. There's a reason why Jesus died on the cross and he saved us. That's it. That's him. And that's done. So ask that the man be better, not perfect. Ask that he continue to grow in all these areas that I talked about. And you need to be growing in all these areas that I talked about. That is so, so important. Keep growing. Keep becoming your best self. Show up. And yeah, when a man asks me, what do I bring to the table? I think it's funny. But I say, I don't know. You tell me. You're sitting across from me. What do you think I bring to the table? This isn't a job interview for me. This is a job interview for you. Okay. So yeah, we can have that conversation if he insists upon it. But, I know who I am. I know how I show up and how I present, and everything about me that I bring to a man. I bring the feminine. I bring the soft and the sensual. I bring my listening skills. I bring my encouraging skills. I'm a natural incubator, as all women are. I'm a natural multiplier. That's what I bring. And so much more. One of the things that a great mentor of mine, her name is Dr. Pat Allen, and I really encourage you to pick up her book if you are interested in learning more about feminine and masculine energy and about polarity. It's called Getting to I Do by Dr. Patricia Allen. So one of the things she says is that Harvard did a study where it talked about what are the reasons why men get married and what are the reasons why women get married. So for men, they are looking for a sexual and sensual experience. They are looking for that soft place to fall when they come home. But it is the sexual and the sensual experience. And for women, and this is, again, I'm talking generalizations. And for women, it is that security. Women are marrying for security, right? And so we're marrying for that security. And men are marrying for that sexual and sensual pleasure. So they want to know that, okay, this is my woman. This is how those needs will be met. Sexual, but then also sensual. She will bring to me not the very roughness of masculinity. She'll bring to me the sweet softness of femininity. She will connect me back to my heart when I'm living in my head. That's what most men are seeking when they are seeking a woman. And so for the woman, we're seeking someone who it can provide security, someone who can provide a sense of logic and just is focused and directed. That's what we're looking for. And we can then relax into our femininity knowing that that is provided for. So again, this is not every man, this is not every woman. I'm speaking in generalizations, but understand that for men, and this is back to the episode that I had in January when I interviewed all of the men and we talked at length about how, men don't care about your degrees. Men don't care about the car you drive or where your house is or how big it is, or your business. Men are not interested in that. They can provide those things for themselves. Those things are for you. Men are interested in, can you encourage me? Can you encourage me? Can you speak life into me? Can you multiply any and everything that I give you? Can you listen? Can you be that soft place to fall? Can you accept me as I am for the most part? That's what men are looking for. Can you be led, right? So if he is a strong leader, can the woman be led and led with love? So that's really what men are after. They're not after the tangible stuff. They're not after, what you do and your position and all of that. They're not interested in that. They are interested in a woman's softer side, her more feminine side, her sensual and sexual side. And don't get me wrong, a man wants to know that a woman's responsible. He wants to know that she could take care of herself if she needed to. But a true healthy masculine man, he gets off on taking care of you. He gets off on providing that secure place for you to be and for you to flourish as a feminine. So, ladies, I hope you kept an open mind as you listen to this podcast episode. Because the truth is, some of us have work to do. We do. We have healing to do. We have healing of our hearts and our minds. We need to work on our health and our fitness. We need to work on our financial or our spiritual. We have got to become whole if we're going to want and attract a whole partner. And we're not perfectly whole, but we're on the journey to being whole. We've got work to do. And so to expect a long laundry list of qualities from a man that you're not even meeting yourself. No, it's very unlikely that vibrationally, energetically, you're even going to attract that or you're even going to manifest that. What I see happening is I see women having this long laundry list. They see men that they believe fit the list and then they pursue them. Because they know this man is not going to see them the same way. He is not going to pursue you. But I don't believe in pursuing men. I believe women attract men. They attract the man that they want to them, number one, by working on themselves, doing that work, healing, and focusing on all those areas and becoming your best in those areas. Working on your feminine communication and your feminine skills, your listening skills, your communication skills, your conflict resolution skills. And practicing. I see so many people who get this knowledge or this information, and the sad part is they either don't understand it or go on to the next part, which is you have to apply it. You actually have to practice what you're learning over and over and over. I am still in that frame of mind right now. I'm still practicing. And there are times where I will fall off and I'm like, I got to come right back. This is the way. You've got to practice the skills. So I am going to link to the self-discovery relationship tool in the show notes, on YouTube, on my page. If you are listening to this podcast, and I want you to click on it, download it, print it out, and I want you to take the time, all the time you need to complete this. I do this every single year because sometimes what I want changes And what I don't want, I'll add things onto that, or what I need. Sometimes it changes. Like, I have become a totally different woman than I was 25 years ago. So a lot has changed, and that's okay. But take your time with this, get really clear. That's how you're going to attract what you want. But then here's the hardest part of all. You're going to look at it and you're going to say, am I anything on these lists? Like, if you say, perfect example, women say, well, I don't want a man with children, and you have 3 kids, sorry, that's probably unlikely. And again, I'm not saying never, but it's probably unlikely that you're going to attract a man who doesn't have any children because you have 3 kids. So I don't date men that don't have children. Like, those are the only men I date because I have 3 children and they're now young adults. But there is something that goes along with that I like. And again, I feel like that person can meet me right in that space where they understand. But ladies, I have to be honest. If you put things on your don't want list and you've got those things, it's unlikely that you will attract that. So be honest with yourself. I'm being honest with you. And I'm just encouraging you to do this work. The work is what's necessary. People who are not doing the work, that's why we're in the situation we're in on the dating landscape, the relationship landscape. No one wants to work. Everyone wants to have something amazing, and they don't want to learn anything. They don't want to attempt to understand what they've learned. And the last piece, they don't want to apply it. But those 3 parts are crucial to having the relationship that you want. And remember, ladies, bravery. It takes courage to have the relationship that you want. And courage for a feminine woman looks like vulnerability. Being appropriately vulnerable. That is key. So practice that. Practice being more vulnerable. That's your superpower as a feminine. It is so attractive to a man when I tell you. Oh my gosh, it is so attractive. So work on this, work on these skills, take the self-discovery relationship tool. It doesn't cost you a thing. And when I tell you, it's priceless. It will help you so much in getting clear on what you really want. And then just putting that mirror on yourself so that you can do the work for yourself. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, stay open to love. Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. If you are enjoying this podcast, please leave me a 5-star rating and review. Your ratings and reviews help me to continue to bring you more great content. Head on over to YouTube and check out the Better Love Movement channel. There's more video content there, and you can subscribe to be notified when a new video is posted. If you have a question that you would like to have answered on the podcast or in a YouTube video, please send it to me at info@betterlovemovement.com. You can also connect with me directly on the Magnify app to have your dating and relationship questions answered. That's MAGNIFI, and it's available on iOS and Android. You get your first 5 minutes for free. So give me a call and let's chat.